Let's get it.
We'll have to win the game. Will not be like season, but we have our people. Our people is there. We'll be sold out, and we need all of them, the energy during 95 minutes to try to beat the king of this competition. With our people in Manchester, we'll go for it. Yeah, the people will be there. They will score one goal, that's for sure.
The Etihad Fortress will be rocking all 90 minutes. No need for a Superdome. That is a need. You heard it from the Pep. Citizens, Mancunians, the people who will be in that match, if you are rocking City Blue, you need to help and do what they did last season. You will help the club score at least one goal. You damn right. I'm gonna be home loud as fuck. I decided I'm gonna do a live stream because this is a match level of such craziness that when we win, that's a great thing that I can clip. So I'm sure most of y'all, my show bros, y'all work more traditional jobs. So
Can I pull up? I'm on spring break. Can I pull up?
Oh yes, let's go! I forgot about that. Oh, yay, Sharpie, vacation Sharpie. Oh, that's why you were hitting out Philly. You know, you're spring break Nixie. Okay, I love that. Love that. So yes, we will be kicking it. Just be prepared for insanity. I'm super excited about that. And all these people, I know we can get lost because we did beat them down last year. And I have all of the feeling and I'm going to have all the energy that we're going to do it again this year. But Pep wants us to, kind of keep our heads level. Don't compare previous season to this.
I don't have the feeling that this is what it is last season. So he is right. The same managers, not a long time ago. But new players they have new players. So completely different games. And of course, we have a little advantage for the fact the second leg is at home. Like we feel strong. We are incredibly confident. But we have to play first 90 minutes here. And here, the games are long for many reasons. Expect different games in the same game.
We're going to get into it. That Real Madrid match. There were times where it was shaky, scary. But we can move on to it. We can move forward to it. And all I can say is, what will Madrid do when they come to Big Bad City? Because honestly, I'm not too worried. I think there were a lot of moments, which we'll get into, where we fell short. Yes, Madrid had some chances, but Rodri, Ronaldo, there were chances. I'm feeling hot for this team. And then, we're really going to get into it. Liverpool, Arsenal. Oh, my goodness. Top of the table, baby. We out here.
I hate the most is when you don't want the ball. I hate it. You have permission to make a mistake. You have permission to lose. You have permission.
And that's when we get big.
Yeah, I'm a genius.
Attack everyone and send everyone.
I think we're forgetting the most important thing. We're forgetting about focusing just on ourselves.
But we can do better. We need to take the next step, and there's no better place than taking the next step here.
Show ourselves out there how much we want to win it again.
We win 4 of the last 5 Premier League, guys. 4 of the last 5 Premier League. Are we going to do it again?
Don't ask me again about doubles, triples, quadruples, fifth-tuples, six-tuples, and seven-tuples. So,
don't do it. Hey. Welcome to episode 97 of Shades of Blue.
The niggas debating my numero, not the 3, not the 2 on the UNO.
We are the most comprehensive show about Manchester City, covering both the men and women's game, spanning both sides of the Mason-Dixon line. We making art over here, capitalize the A. I am Crump Chocolate. I'm with my show, bro. Sharpie, Rick, and Lando. How's it going? Episode 97. We top of the league. We need to get this energy up. I need top of the league energy.
I just had to find a mute button, baby. It's great over here. For those that can't see, if you're only doing audio, I got my brand new Bernardo away kit on with the beautiful FIFA patch in the middle. You know, we about to be talking on some 97 albums at the end of the episode. I'm gonna send a link in the Slack so boys can get ready. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Charlie looking sharp as ever in that beautiful away kit. I'm happy he let me know. Yeah, I'm happy he let me know who it was because I was gonna ask. But let me just go ahead and before I say another word. Good evening to everybody. Good evening, as Unai would tell us. Good evening. How are you, T?
I'm good, man. A little tired, but I'm good. Been ripping and running. Basketball is kicked back up, so AAU is doing its thing. So yeah, glad to be here.
Before we get into anything at all, what I need for you to do right now, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up for us. Show some love. Leave a comment on what you thought of the episode. Maybe retort to something one of us said. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, any of those podcast streaming services that allows you to rate, we need that 5 stars immediately. Please and thank you. Reviews, those all help boost the show to other football fanatics, Manchester City fans, so we can just grow the word of Shady Gang. Oh man, this week of shows we have for you though. Another week of plenty of shows. Tuesday, tomorrow, today, depending on when you're listening to it, our match preview series for Breaking Bread, covering Champions League second leg. My Real Madrid representative is the homie PMHFC 21. Real shit talker, a rebel rouser. Be bantering with them on Twitter if you've seen it sometimes. What's really funny is because we go at it so intensely, but it's just like jokes, and then people get in there and try to dunk on them, and it's just like, whoa, you got chill. They're actually like homies. This is just like, I know it doesn't seem like it, but please relax. So it's gonna be really fun for them to bring that energy to the Breaking Bread show. It's so prepare yourself. It's gonna be real entertaining. And then Thursday night lit stream this Thursday, the most dangerous show about football. Our most dope guests this week are Chicago's own Big Phil and Jake, aka 50 Plus Donor. We're basically getting him out of his hiatus. It's just, even if it's just for like 20-25 minutes, he's out of his hiatus. So y'all are welcome, football content creators and lovers. I'm just really excited. And then Cavincio, like fresh off of seeing his homie Messi in Sporting KC at the Arrowhead after working for Goal USA, doing a little bit of things. Like, Mans is doing his moves. I'm super excited to catch up with all of our guests.
That's going to be hella fun, guys. I mean, partly because I will be in town, and if I'm not mistaken, at the very least, I'm going to be with Kronk. I don't know if others are going to be available that evening, so that lit stream is going to be a little bit of a unique experience, at least from a point of view perspective.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then Sunday, what we're going to do before we all go our separate ways while in Chicago, Sharpie Charlie, that beautiful ball brain of his, that's why the hair fell out. The brain, it's just so strong. It's like hair, too bad. Too much strength for you. Like, one of us has to go. But he was like, hey, before we go, what time does City
Did you
Women's...
ask him first if he actually lost his hair or if he just chooses to keep it low? I mean, he might just choose to keep it low. He might be on that Jordan thing.
It doesn't fit with my giant brain versus hair
I'm just saying.
narrative.
Oh no, you're right. It's a George Jefferson if we let it grow. So yeah, DNA got me on that one.
But also, I low-key wondered that, and also kind of ruin a thing I was going to do for us. I was going to have us record these like before we meet up, these questions, and one of the questions was what's a question or a thing we wonder about each of us, and mine definitely was going to be, is Sharpie bald by choice or not? Like, because I've always wondered that, and now we've solved that. So now I have to think of a new question for Sharpie.
Yeah,
Well,
no Shaka Smart over here. No lying forever. Just shaving your hair like a psycho. Hate that man.
Oh man! But the watch along for it's gonna start at 8 a.m. Central. The game starts at 8:15. We'll all be kicking it, watching the match. It's a very dynamic, exciting. We'll have spent a weekend with each other, so you could be potentially seeing us also very annoyed with each other, or them annoyed with me because I am a lot. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. So check that out. Oh man. And then yeah, keep talking about Chicago. This weekend, baby, Shades of Blue will be in you. We'll be in your city. There we go. Only Shades. Once again, the breakfast and watch along is canceled in Chicago. We have pivoted to experiencing Chicago MCFC at AJ Hudson's. Shady Gate, we will be at AJ Hudson's, 3801 North Ashland Avenue for the match. It is advised you get there early because it's first come, first serve. So come through. We will be there making content, asking City fans questions, hanging out, enjoying ourselves. From there, we just take on Chicago. We mobbing with the most dope people who are coming to Chicago to spend time with us. And then that night, going to be kicking it with the Black Fires. And from there, we will be going to Chicago Fire FC versus Real Salt Lake. They're not in España. So this is America. There's no Real for you. Y'all are Real Salt Lake. SOP will be we'll be kicking it in the supporters group. Melee, getting rowdy with them. I'm super excited. They have like giant drums and stuff, so I'm excited to hopefully play those a little bit. And then yeah, the watch along. So if you're in Chicago, if you're around Chicago, come through, spend some time with us, say hi, say hello. And then also there's plenty of hijinks. Lando and we're gonna do some like Friday breakfast / lunch shenanigans. We got that like mapped out. We got some things. I'm talking to a couple of black breweries in the space to see if we can like link up and do some stuff with them. Yeah, just really excited about meeting people on top of it. Oh my God, it's gonna be a weekend that my soul very much needed. Overfloweth.
Brother,
sorry, that was technical problem. But also Kansas City, May 4th. Washington, D.C., May 19th. We're coming your way. We'll see you soon. In today's episode, I kind of wanted to start with the albums because, I mean, the games, they were great. There's things that I actually want to get into, but I mean, I guess we can do the end, but I don't know. I feel like this could be like a real fun start to it. But y'all just let me know when I'm done explaining what else we're doing. We're reviewing Manchester City's 2 fixtures, 3-3 Classico in the Bernabeu Thunderdome, along with a beatdown of Luton to review. Next, City have 2 more cup competitions this week, the second leg in Champions League, and FA Cup semis against Chelsea to preview. And Baby Blue Baddies, they're back after their international break. I did realize they play 2, maybe 3 games, and then they go back on another international break. Then we have for City Men, I'll cut that out. Our Baby Blue Baddies have a match against West Ham for us to preview. Shock, awe, and applause will end the episode. All right, let's get into it. Yeah. I just really want to know your guys' album stuff. If we wait till the end, I'm just gonna be thinking about that the entire time.
It's tough. There's some really great and I started obviously with hip hop. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
And it got really regional, right? You got stuff from New York, you got stuff from Texas, you got West Coast. You know, it really started to get big. I'm actually gonna stick to my Virginia roots. I'm gonna go with Missy Misdemeanor Elliott, Super Duper Fly. An incredible album. And I think she definitely changed the game for women MCs. The creativity in that album, The Rain, come on now, Sock It To Me. Oh my gosh, just hits after hits after hits, man. So, and shout out to Timbaland on the production, another Virginia legend. So I'm gonna stick with my home roots on that one.
And Timberland and Magoo dropped their album that year also. So like Timberland was going crazy that year, and I loved his music, just like dancing to it. Yeah, that was great.
Well, T, you going?
Go ahead.
I mean, I got to keep it regional then. I mean, I do. He went regional. It was valid. I was bumping that album immediately. We got done with last episode because he put this great idea into my head. So once again, before I even say my pick, Charlie, thank you. This is a wonderful game. This is brilliant. I'm so happy that I get to do this. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and choose Life After Death by the Notorious B.I.G. My man, the cornerstone of music, of rap music for me. Biggie died on my birthday. So it's really, really hard for me to not think of him. But if you look at that album, Life After Death, something that we can all kind of think about right now in rap and hip hop, he dropped What's Beef on this album, which if you want to get an understanding and an undertone of what's happening right now in the rap game, go listen to What's Beef. That's a good little dope song. I Got a Story to Tell. I mean, that song in itself is just an absolute gem. Rumored to be that he's actually talking about Anthony Mason's girlfriend at the time. A little New York nugget there for you. Go back and listen to it. 10 Crack Commandments. If you want to learn how to run a business, just listen to 10 Crack Commandments. If you just want to learn how to run a business, period. And I'll stop there. The last thing I'll say about it is Kicking the Door for me was just an absolute, every time that beat drops, goosebumps. So clear for me, Life After Death. T?
This is hard. I was gonna go Wu-Tang Forever. That was gonna be my thought, just because I love Wu-Tang. But I'm actually gonna switch it up and go with the Lost Boys.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Lost
Boys. They were on my short list. I
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them.
That's great. Yeah.
Now what you got, Crunk?
Oh man. Okay, so I'm an R&B person actually at heart, and I had to look at those albums first. I didn't pick any of them, but Erykah Badu dropped Baduism, Usher's My Way, Mariah Carey's Honey, Janet dropped Velvet Rope, Mary J. Blige dropped Joe, Casey and JoJo, Anytime by Brian McKnight. It was just like bangers after bangers that year. That was like a pivotal year when I was like looking at all these things. I was like, dang. But like I said, I had 22 artists. I miss when music. This actually has been a pretty good year for music, but I miss years like these where it's just like every week a huge, amazing, talented artists were dropping albums. Honestly, I kind of, when I was whittling down my artists, I dig deep into like my nostalgia bag. Who was I back then, really? And it's Mace Harlem World. Me growing in Iowa, I needed to know I could feel tapped in. He was like the coolest dude to me when I was a kid. Like here, and then the way he dressed, he's just. I tried to do my version of that here. I got killed all the time naturally, but it helped me grow into who I was. But He had DMX, 8Ball and MJG, Busta Rhymes, Total. So, you know, the R&B and me, they were doing their thing there. The Locks, Black Rob. For someone like me who loves like New York and Southern rap, that album kind of just like fed me. And yeah, I was listening to that album actually on repeat the last couple of days. This was fun. This was a very good thing. Thank you, Shark.
I will say this. And I looked up Harlem World. It was gonna be my first one because Mace is that year. Like I was 6, turning 7 that October. Like I remember Mace. But yeah, I had to go with Missy. I will say this: 98 is the easiest one for me. Like I already know my pick. I can't wait for it next week. 98 is simple. It's the gold standard of rap to me.
Love it. All right. Well, shoot. Let's get into Say Men and the Champions League. Okay. Woo! Let's go. Before we get into this match, though, I first want to thank Neff for coming on Breaking Bread and helping the listeners and I learn a little bit more about Real. Before the match, this is Pep on, you know, what he is about to
Everybody
face.
knows, not Pep. Everybody knows the strength for the transitions that they have, not just with Vinicius, for Rodrigo, Bellingham, Ronaldo, Valverde. And so they have an incredible pace to do this. That's why you have to. But at the same time, you cannot come here just to control the game. You have to go here to try to hurt them, to punish them, to try to let them feel we are here to score the goals. And in that mix, you have to read how you have to do, how you have to control it.
Real Madrid asked for their dome to be closed to enhance the crowd noise. Shaky Warriors worried about Manchester City needing all those power-ups Los Blancos could muster. Enough about Real Madrid. Manchester City stay breaking records. Prior to the match, City were on a 10-match winning streak in the Champions League, second most all-time to Bayern's 15 from September 2019 to November 2020. Fret not, citizens. Manchester currently have an unbeaten run of 21, which, yes, is now 22 games, which is the second longest to Manchester United's run from 2007 to 2009. If City go and win the Champions League final, they will win back-to-back Champions Leagues along with breaking Saf's unbeaten run. Ooh, you know, it's just like a delicious candied cherry on top. I'm super excited. I believe you can't take too much from City's second leg from last year, like I said earlier. But also, you know, I lied. Beating Real like City did broke some of the bad juju from the choke job 2 seasons ago. On the pitch, both clubs have different players playing in a different manner. So it's just, I'm interested when we get to the preview for this next match, the second leg with my show bros. I'm interested to see how they are seeing this match because I feel like we actually might be low-key on the same wavelength. But one of us, I feel like, has to be tentative. There is one of us who is known to have butt cheeks clenched, so I assume I can at least go with him. But when Pep said the games are long, expect many games in the same game, that was real. I felt that. Starting lineup was Ortega in goal, Vardiol, Diaz, Stones, Akanji, Rodri, Kovacic, Grealish, Foden, Silva, and Haaland up top. KDB a last-second pull because of the stomach bug. Before Luton, Pep said, "Or you just look at his face. It wasn't a nice face." Or he said it was like an ugly face or so. The way that he just phrased it, it was just like it was a gross face. I didn't want to look at it, or I couldn't see. It was just wild. If you just clipped up that saying, it just sounded like he was flaming Kevin. And I'm surprised someone has it, honestly. but we need to find out who that hotel worker was that poisoned our boy, because we got to get them back. But who? And also, I heard Pep acknowledge that if KDB was going to start, Phil was going to sit, and that's kind of insane to me in thinking of that. What were your thoughts and feelings in seeing the starting 11? Sharpie, start with you.
Real quick, like, it sucked that Kyle Walker wasn't fit, because we know what he did against Vinny last year, and so not having him there was definitely a big miss. No surprises other than Kevin being out, so like Kovacic was the natural replacement for him. Yeah, I think the lineup basically picked itself. There's nobody I was like, oh my gosh, it didn't get on. Like, I never expected Doku to start over Grealish. So yeah, I figured that was our best 11 that we could put out there.
All right. Well, anyone have anything in particular they want to add in about the lineup, I guess? I mean, there's plenty of goals that we'll be able to talk about.
Did you say if KDB would have been available, who would have been on the bench?
Foden.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that. I just assumed that it was Kova that came in for him. Because it felt like, we can get into the match in a little bit, but it felt like Kova was trying to figure it out to a certain extent.
I gotta, that is what I've read, and that's what I have seen. So it's interesting. No,
that does make sense.
That
makes sense to me. Like, on the road, like, I'm not sure that you want to put necessarily the hammer down. You're going in thinking that you want to get a result. I don't think that necessarily this game played out to what Pep thought he had planned for this.
I think one of the things that we've seen a bit from some of the, and I was actually going to say this kind of off camera before the pod, but I'll say it now. I'm really happy that we haven't put ourselves in a predicament overall as a Shades of Blue group to be putting information out there that we believe to be true, or hinting towards information that like we think like we know people kind of thing, or like in a forum kind of thing, because in all honesty, I don't see the cornerstone of leaked lineups. I don't see how that could be like that. That's the thing for me that really, it's a bit troubling, to be honest, because like, okay, I guess it's cool. It's preparing me for something that I'm going to know literally an hour before match time, in which like, so you're expediting my worries potentially, which is appreciative, but not appreciative if our manager himself comes out and says, no, even leaks were wrong, because he said that. He genuinely said that when asked about it in regards to the Luton match. So I'm just happy we don't know that or have a touch on that, because I think that's something that can easily be wrong. Like, easily. In fact, I'm in Twitter chats that have pointed it out this year, if I'm just going to go ahead and say it honestly. So let's just have fun. We're going to know it in an hour. We're going to know it in an hour. It's okay.
No, I'm with you. Okay, let's get into it. Bernardo's goal from a free kick, catching Real Madrid's one-person wall and keeper Luton off guard. It was a mean knee slide and stare down celebration. Bernardo has scored 4 goals against Real Madrid. That is the second most goals he has scored against any club. First is Watford and Newcastle. You can see why Barcelona needs him, since he owns Real Madrid. It's an amazing start to the match, except we always say you can score too early. Scoring in the second minute against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu is scoring too early. Was there joy and bravado after that goal, or was there that feeling of impending doom? Because, yeah, it was like a cheeky goal. How much really can you take from that?
I mean, I do think, like you said, it was cheeky to a certain extent. It was he took advantage of a situation that he saw. But I'm going to say I think it was too early. I mean, I just knew that there was a lot of time. There's a lot that's going to take place. This isn't going to be the only goal. There's going to be a lot that happens between now and then. So yeah, I wasn't. I didn't think it was anything. I was happy. You know, again, the earlier we get on the board, the more pressure we put on the other team. But
That's
I
fair.
knew that there's a lot of twists and turns still to come.
I think it was terrible defense and goalkeeping. Like it was
absolutely.
so preventable. Yeah, and that's the
100%.
thing where it's like, I'm happy it went in, but that should not have gone in, right? Like Luton was sucked, the wall sucked, everything they did was terrible. And I think it just like they obviously didn't think Bernardo would shoot because it's Bernardo. He doesn't do that. So they were just like, oh, he's gonna cross the ball in. And yeah, credit to him, but I knew we weren't gonna win 1-0, right? Like I was like, okay, I can't wait to see the next goal because they're gonna be a lot more after that. Tom, what you think?
I continue to think that Carlos Vicens is in his bag. Like that's
Yes.
I mean, like I think he probably told Bernardo like at some point is like, hey, if you get a free kick like this, like, or he had told everyone like Phil, KDB, Bernardo's like, if you get a free kick like this, you're probably going to be able to shoot near post, like, because they're only going to put one in that wall. So like, I just think that that's great tape study. I continue to think that like it's amazing to me that set pieces are actually like a part of our offense, not like, oh my God, like we're gonna like concede a goal off of a corner kick like we did so many times in 2016, 2017. Like that to me, that was what made me happy.
Initial thoughts, or if you haven't seen the documentary on Netflix, which is rating in the top 10, by the way, in documentaries, just throwing that out there. Little City, no one's been paying attention to us. I thought it was incredible that the moment the shot went in, I immediately started doing the Bernatiki. Bro, I'm sorry. I absolutely went crazy in those same Twitter chats I'm telling you about, in which there's a great City Knicks Hive chat. I put in a huge voice memo about the notion that we are not scared of the Bernabeu. We are not scared at all about this location. We are comfortable, we're smooth, similar to the podcast. And that goal for me just brought it all about a level of, okay, we're here. Last time we played them, it was 2 second half goals, and Kevin's was the latter goal that gave us the draw. Really different game, which I think is to Tom's point about the whole concept of, I don't think this is the game that Pep wanted, right? So when we go back and look at the subs, I really don't think it is. I think there was a transition or a change in tactics. I think T also alludes to it with kind of thinking Mateo didn't really necessarily look like he was in the routine of what was coming. He was still trying to figure it out. So all of that matches up to say, in the second fucking minute, we get a goal like that because your keeper is an absolute nincompoop. I mean, let's have it. Let's have it. Settle us in. We got another 80 something minutes and we're fine. So I loved it, guys. Settled me right in.
And yeah, solid. Real, it's not solid. Real Madrid level. Camavinga beats Grealish, Rodri, Kovacic, and Diaz are in front of him, but nobody really closes down on him. And then Vinga just takes a shot. Diaz half-heartedly throws his hip at the ball. Bad deflection, opposite direction that Ortega's jumping. It's 1-1. Bernabeu is on fire. And then before I can gather myself, City give up possession cheaply. And what I mean by that is just Grealish gave an early cross towards Haaland and Luton caught it. It was real cheap because we should have just taken our time considering we just gave up a goal. But nope, we set Real Madrid on another counter. It took Real Madrid 18 seconds from Luton releasing the counter to the ball just like trickling past the line, because that's all it did. It just like it was the 3 seconds of the ball just taking its time getting past that line. Vardiol, he definitely like was jogging at the end of that, and I know he's been running a lot up and down, up and down, up and down. But if he powered through the entire time, ran hard the entire time, he could have had a John Stones clear out. He could have had the Kyle Walker clear out that they've had. He could have been part of the pantheon of one of the great things that we've been able to have here. It was just such a frustrating goal to give. Both of them, honestly. Showbros. What happened? Like, yes, Real Madrid greatness, but there were breakdowns somewhere to give up these 2 goals so quickly. Where was the calm up? What did you see? What was going on?
Go ahead, Terry.
No, I'll say there was no comma. It was a basketball match early in this game. It was a basketball game. It was up and down. It was fast breaks. It was push the tempo. It was very much up and down. There was no prototypical Pep control. None of it. It was not happening. And I think that was the thing that surprised me early, was just how up and down it was. I mean, the goal, the Camavinga goal is a deflection. Nothing too much you can do about it. The Rodrigo goal, though, is when I felt like, okay, we're kind of getting blitz right now. And, that's when I wrote down, it's like, we need to get control. I thought maybe he might have been offside, but we need to get control here. We need someone to help us bring that pausa and that calma to the game, just slow it down a little bit. And again, being the away team, they're going to try to jump on you from the beginning. You just have to navigate those first 15, 20 minutes. And getting that first goal for us was like, oh, great, if we can do this. And then you get hit with 2 quick, punches, and it's like, wow, we're kind of stunned. We're staggering a little bit, but you just got to get through it, and we did.
So when Camavinga's shot went in off of Ruben Diaz, the only thing I could think of was dance too much booty in the pants, because like if he had a flatter ass, it would have like not gone in that way. So, but honestly, like, it was one of those things where like we got a goal that was kind of cheeky, and then they got a goal that's kind of cheeky. So like, honestly, we're 0-0 now. That Rodrigo goal, I might be calm enough to talk about it and not start screaming like I did when I watched it. But there's like there is no excuse for that goal, and that, like, I don't think I've ever missed Kyle Walker on the pitch so much in my entire life. Like, I was just the lack of pace of our back line was just like seriously exposed. And I know Vardiol is supposed to be fast, but to Crunk's point, like, he just did not run. So it was very, very frustrating.
Charlie, go, because you're the Kyle Walker apologist, and I have been on the record of saying that I do not like the captaincy with him and all of this thing. So I think we're both about to agree on something, but I want to hear you go first, because I definitely don't deserve to talk first on this. I've been talking shit on this man, and I fucking miss him. Go Charlie.
I believe the phrase is, the apology needs to be as loud as the disrespect was.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Because
I'm sorry.
Kyle
I'm sorry.
Walker is ridiculously important to our defense, and especially when you go up against Rodrigo and Vinny. Like, you need him on the pitch. Now, we'll get to the rest of the match and clearly things settled. But like, at that point, Real Madrid saw food. They said, oh, they are slow because they don't have Ake or Walker. Because really, the lineup is always going to include Ruben. So you need to have Ake beside him, and you need Kyle Walker to be beside Ruben as well. Like, but once you lost that, you got Stones out there and Akanji. Come on, man. Like, it's a straight up FIFA match. You got 92 speed, 95 speed versus 64, 66, and 72. The numbers don't lie. Like, you miss Kyle Walker's pace in that moment because they wouldn't even try certain things had he been on the pitch. Like they were playing ball to feet last year against Finney because they know that Kyle Walker's he's strong enough to stay with him. And then, fast enough to stay with him and strong enough to keep him off the ball. So, yeah, they just saw the mismatch. And like Tarek said, basketball analogy, they just say, no, switch. Give me him. I want him. And they got a nice little deflected goal. It was a chance that it could have got stopped. But, yeah, you don't even see that play happen with 2 on the pitch. So the captain coming back is going to be so important.
I'm going to take it to a football analogy. I don't think Akanji has ever faced so many Randy Moss hand signs, just throw it, because this man in the first 20 minutes, I literally almost wanted to tweet that exact thing. I think Akanji has never seen this many Randy Moss throw it, I'm open type shit. This man was getting, if you go back and pause it, when the ball is played to Rodrigo, he is flat-footed, still looking at our goal. It's not even the fact that he's like in back or tracking back or the hips are turned. I'm talking 10 toes towards the opposite direction. It was so bad. I was so scared. I was crying for Kyle Walker. And the last thing I will say is this is another big reason to it, right? We talk about the calma, that everything, and T's right. We needed that voice. I don't think that Kyle Walker is the voice that would have provided it necessarily, but I think he would have been the voice that would have heard it from Pep on the sidelines and really tried to echo it, implying I think maybe Pep really likes the concept of having him on that closer side to get him to get the messages relayed that he wants, kind of thing. I don't know. I'm throwing ideas out there for me to justify the fact that I want to hug Kyle Walker, and please pray that those legs are back as much as possible before Wednesday.
Yeah, maybe. You look at the score, it's 3-3. Do I think that Kyle Walker could have helped us? For sure. But I don't know that I feel like, to be honest with you, with him coming back from injury, if he's not 100%, I'd rather we roll with what we had before than to try him out. And that's saying something crazy, because again, he's the Vinicius killer, or stopper, or whatever you want to call it. But it just makes me nervous for him, because again, I saw what we did last time. I'm almost like, don't switch it up. But here's hoping that getting him back in, if he's ready to go, fully ready to go, and not just physically, but just being into the flow of the match and all the stuff that goes with just playing, then you got to put him on there because he's our best right-sided defender, and then again, that pace is a weapon that we need. So they gave the yellow card to Tchouaméni in the very first minute. It was like an immediate yellow card. And then I wrote a note to myself. I said, it feels like someone from UEFA called down to the ref, got in his earpiece, and said, yo, dude, we can't have any more Real Madrid players missing this second leg. I'm going to need you to stop handing out cards. Because then he didn't blow his whistle at all for the rest of the game, pretty much, until like the second half. It was like, if you keep at that pace, they're not going to have anybody for the second leg. And so the whistle kind of went in his pocket, and he didn't want to pull it out. Because it was pretty physical after he gave that yellow card, including your boy Jude crying for fouls, intentionally fouling Diaz. A bunch of stuff was happening that deserved a card, or deserved the whistle to be blown, that he just kind of, we're just gonna keep playing. Man, dude, no. Blow your whistle. Do your job.
I don't know what Francois Letitier's true background is, but he can't be French, because that match was straight up CONCACAF. That match got very CONCACAF-y very quickly after the second minute. It was like, what the hell is going on over here? Like, that's not a foul? I'm very confused.
Right. Just for the record, the next foul, I had to fucking look it up on Optimass, or what am I on? Opta Analyst. after that foul, it wasn't until the 41st minute that the next foul was called. You are on to something,
the
my
dude
friend.
went for 40 minutes. It's like nobody's gonna get a foul call. Nobody's gonna get. Come on, man. And again, it was just like there was an intentional. And again, I'm sure they're never gonna say that. They're never gonna admit to it. But I just think that they don't want the spectacle of this event being ruined because then Real Madrid says, "Well, our best team wasn't available because they, whatever." So, go ahead, Charlie.
And something to think about, aside from the refereeing, right, is if you notice the rest of that the rest of the first half, everything settled down after their goal, right? Yes, Real Madrid had a couple chances, but City started to play our football. And I will say, like, once the second goal went in, I didn't think we were going to lose. I thought we had enough time to get one to draw because just like last year, the goal is to draw on the road, finish them off at home. So I say, hey, we're going to be good. And the fact we got through the second, made it to halftime down only 1-2, I was like, yeah, we're in a really good spot. So with the refereeing against us, the closed dome, Vinny, Rodrigo, everybody's cooking. For us to only be down one, yeah, we've done this before, no problem.
I think T kind of alluded to it, but I think I should just point out the fact that he needs his own little moment to where we acknowledge that in probably his biggest game of his career so far, it's a young career, but I would say at this point, it's the biggest game for his career. Jude Bellingham looked like he was a professional diver. That is a bit alarming. I mean, he's played tremendous. The late runs into the box. I just want to get it out there. Olympic level gold medal potential and the type of actions I saw out there.
He called that man Jude Greg Louganis Bellingham.
What a name drop.
My word.
What a name drop. That's heat.
I thought he was
Where'd
going
you
to
get
call
that from
Michael
anywhere
Phelps.
else?
I wanted that's not that, right? That's not diving. That's not
You're
diving.
right. That's why I say. That's why
Yeah.
I was thinking swimming when he first said it because you can kind of know where he's going. So I was in my head. I was like, oh, he about to call him. Nope. Greg Louganis. I think Greg might be a Kane if I remember correctly.
Here we go. Here we go. Give a Kane any opportunity to get out another alum Kane out there. Get out there. Are you a Golden Kane yet, T?
What's up?
Are you a Golden Kane yet? Do you donate to your program?
I do not.
He don't want to say it loud. He don't want to be. He don't want to call himself out.
That man got 3 kids. That man got 3 kids.
I got to give it away. Look, I'm about to pay like $80 per person just to get into a tournament to watch my kid play. That I paid for them to be on the team to be on in the game. Why? It's like doesn't make any sense. So that's where my money goes.
Oh man,
there are mouths to feed, multiple mouths, multiple tuitions. We got things to do.
Actually,
okay?
I was gonna say, you know who's getting my money for it? We're off track. Who's getting my money is IU. They're getting my money because of my kids. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah, they get all that change.
Miami got my parents' money, and so I got a Miami plate on the front of my car. So when I go home and visit, my dad makes comments about it. So I keep it on there so you can know where your money went. So.
I was begging for this first half to end. I believe in the squad. If City can play the football, choke out the match, I truly believed we could get more than Tchouameni booked, but it really was looking a little weird with the refereeing, which honestly, side note, I just got it back on, but I'm about to take us off the rails again. You all make my job so much easier because not only was I about to then talk about Francois Letexier, Tarek brought him up in the refereeing, and Tom, you said his name. And then I was like, all right, cool. Well, then I'll just keep it going to the end of the first half. And then Sharpie, when he was going, he summarized the first half and started going into the halftime. I was like, look at these guys. The things that I don't even need to talk about them anymore. Like, just fucking legends. I appreciate y'all. But that's it though. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I was just go ahead. You're doing your thing. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say thoughts on the first half. So, what were you about to say?
I was gonna say the thing that not stood out, but not even on the pitch. The crowd was insane.
Yeah, that don't
I
help.
felt like, the idea of closing the roof and all of that doesn't matter if the crowd isn't into it. They were they were on top of us. They were doing their best to get because Akanji got a yellow card in the first half, and I think it was I forget which players. Maybe it was Bellingham, but the players, the crowd was going insane trying to get that second yellow card. I actually thought that because as a ref, you see so many times that they buckle to the home crowd, which is why you see Liverpool seems to get calls at home. United seems to get calls because their crowd gets on the ref, and then the ref just kind of buckles under that pressure. So in that moment, I was like, oh, I thought he was going to potentially send off Akanji. Maybe, quite honestly, if I'm being 100%, maybe he deserved the second card there. But I felt it was too early. And then because again, he hadn't done much with his whistle to begin with. It's like you can't give a second yellow for us if you're not willing to give those yellows to that other team. But the crowd was insane. And it made you understand this is why they closed the roof. This is what they were waiting on. And I think that they truly felt their crowd, their aura is enough to get them over the top. And after they hit us with a quick 1-2, that 2-piece early, it almost felt like it could, because it was like, ooh, this is tough. So,
And I will say this is the lesson you learned from 2022, right? We capitulated. We gave up the draws. We literally like let them win. And so many players on that pitch were still playing when we were there this year. And so like you take that and you learn how to just suffer. You just make it through, right? We didn't play our best half at all. 2 iffy goals in 2 minutes. But to get to the half and know, okay, we will be fine. Like we are going to do our things. Everyone in that locker room is in that changing room is ready. And like what happens when you're the best club in the world? It's like they had to do all that and they're only at 1 goal. And our goal is to get a draw. Let's be real. We were never going to win in Madrid. Our goal was to get a draw. And we are right in line for that. So like the mentality is there. Like I haven't watched the documentary yet, but you know the people in that locker room. You don't win a trouble and then go to Madrid and be like, I'm nervous, guys. Can we do it? No, you go, okay, we're going to figure it out. And that's why we are who we are.
That's good. I blew through it. I'm honestly probably going to watch it again so I can actually savor it. Tom?
I just feel like after those 2 goals, like there was like a 10-minute stretch where it seemed like we did suffer, and then we started to play our ball, to Charlie's point. And after, like, as we were starting to play Charlie's ball, or excuse me, as we were starting to play our ball, we didn't really seem like we had a whole bunch of ideas before the half, but they didn't really either. So it kind of was like, okay, like we're gonna have to change something, or somebody's gonna have to come up with that individual moment of brilliance so that we can, like, get the result that we need here in Madrid.
Individual brilliance, you say?
Perhaps some foreshadowing.
Yeah, we'll just get to the second half. Did you see that moment between Vinny Jr. and Jack Grealish? Like after Jack was pushed over, Vinny walks up to him, like points the finger at him and yells something at him. I love how Jack Grealish just riles people up, just pisses them off just by existing. And it's crazy because he legitimately gets his ass kicked in some of those fouls, and the players will still go and like yell shit at him after they swept his legs under him. He's getting booed at every away match. For him to come out and do what he does when he's at his best, obviously, it's just like brilliant.
I have a theory, and I have nothing to back this up on. But I just perhaps it's just that Jack Grealish just talks cash shit for 90 minutes while he is on the pitch, just cash shit.
No, there's evidence to that. There's evidence to that.
To the point where it's just like, I'm sick of your motherfucking mouth, and like,
Oh my,
you don't take
you're a
that.
cunt.
Yes.
You remember that?
Let's be very real here. We've all seen the jock white dude that's annoying as fuck. Like, we know that person. You went to high school with that person. You might have seen him in
There's
college.
a whole college
You
of
might
them
see
that
him at
do.
the gym now.
Yes.
Come on, dog. Like, he's British Christian Leitner. Like, you literally JJ Redick, Steve Rogers,
JJ
you really hate him unless he's on your team, and it's like, yes, that's my guy. Like, but that's the thing, right? Like, Jack is an asshole, but he's our asshole.
Yeah.
And that's why the black players get so riled up. They can't stand his white ass. They genuinely don't like looking at him. His calves are super big. He's got a Gucci deal. He don't score that much. He don't assist that much. So why the fuck is he out there? Like, nobody likes this
But you
man.
can't get the
And
ball
but
off
he's our
of
guy.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot get the ball off him without fouling him. Ask too many. Bye-bye.
I saw that dynamic a bit different than Crunk, because when it went down, to be completely honest with you, when Vinny got on his face and was pissed off and shit, I was just thinking to myself, like, you two and Saka should all get in a room and do the Spider-Man meme when it comes to fouls. Like, the three of you get in a room together and complain would be absolutely hilarious, because all of you all do it. Like, Vinny knows what he's doing. Jack knows that he's pissed off that he did it, because I'm pretty confident in that second half Vinny was doing that a bit. Like, it's what these guys do. But I mean, Charlie's spot on, dude. The British Christian Leitner. My God.
Oh man. Oh,
Now, he might actually be like Greg Paulus if you really want to get into like parallels here. Greg Paulus, 4-year starter at Duke, also played football if you know that, but was just like there all the time. But wasn't the best player on the team at all. Was captain, was a leader, but couldn't play for shit. And I'm not saying Jack can't play for shit.
Player of the year though.
He was a baller, but in college he was an asshole. And yeah, Jack's our guy. He's our dookie.
That's funny. Jude, speaking of him, he did have a shot that went wide and he shook Stones up. Like, bro, fell. I hurt my soul seeing him do that to our boy. There were a few missed opportunities leading up to Foden and Vardiol's goal. Their madnesses, the goals were stupid. Rodri could have dunked on Cruz if he kept the ball down. And then Bernardo, he had a shot directly at Luton. But that Foden goal, though, comfortably. City just possessing the ball, passing it left, right. You have the ball. No, you have the ball. You know what? They should have the ball over there. Let me just ping it over there. Oh, my goodness. But then Rodri, he gets the ball, makes a driving run. Then he moves the ball over right to Bernardo. Bernardo pings it almost like a slightly back square pass to John Stones, who cushions the ball to Foden. He dribbles over to his strong foot and just does a celebration. He sniped the ball and that top bins. Like, goodness gracious. And then the celebration, him running to Pep. Pep smacking his face, basically saying, "You're the man. You're the man." Like, Foden, he's the future. He's the current star boy. A goal that tells the world, tells Pep that I am never sitting again in an important match. Recognize that.
I want to know what Pep said at halftime, because, like, there are sometimes, like, you hear that managers, like, will do certain things, like, so, like, for example, Peter Vermees is famous for, like, going into halftime and only giving the halftime speech in Spanish, because he wants his Spanish, like, he is calling out his Spanish speaking players and saying, like, you're not playing well enough. Or he'll, like, I think there's another Eastern European language that he speaks. So they're like, managers do this. So, like, I wonder if he, like, the entire halftime speech was directly at Phil and was like, you're gonna have to do this. Like, if you think you are a star, like, we need you to be a star. And so I truly do believe that was, like, whatever Pep said at halftime was probably targeted directly at Phil Foden, even if it was intended to be indirect.
I mean, you see it in the doc, but I mean, Pep has also said he changes up what he does. Sometimes there was times where he walked in and he literally just walked around, stared at everybody, and then left. He didn't say nothing. And then there were times when he went in and he was screaming at people. And then there are times where he just was like, hey, you got this? You got this? That's what you got to do. You got to change it up. You got to feel the heat. Make them feel where they should be, not where they are. And yeah, like you said, I could only imagine what Pep said during that halftime. Sharpie.
Phil Foden's ascendancy this season is literally the same like trajectory, not the same level. He's not the GOAT, but it's what happened with Messi under Pep. You just saw a player get better every single year in that position, right? Messi starts out as a winger. We all know he drifts in. Phil Foden starts out as a winger. He plays false nine. His real position is a 10. Like, now, he's not Messi. Don't ever clip me and say he is. But for our team and what we need and the successor to Kevin De Bruyne, that's the person. So we can talk about transfers every day like y'all do, but like Phil right there. Like Phil is him. 47 is him. Like that's the guy. And seeing him have the confidence, we saw it last year, I think, against Dortmund. Like he loves sitting outside the box. He's really good at it. And he's one of the only players that has the license to shoot whenever he feels like it. Like him and Kev can shoot anytime they want. And clearly now Vardy y'all can too. We'll talk about that soon. But like that man is him. And he turns 24 next month. So we're literally talking about somebody who hasn't reached their physical peak. You don't peak until you're 26, 27. So what he's doing now at 23, man, just a phenomenal goal, phenomenal strike. And that was what I was waiting for at halftime.
So one of the things that stood out to me, well, first half, I wrote my last note for the first half was about the Rudiger Haaland matchup, and how we ultimately just needed more from Haaland. I felt like he was being manhandled, but you gotta just give us a little bit more. He didn't get the first foul call against Rudiger until that just after halftime, I think. But when you talk about the Foden goal, I think it happens like around 65th minute. But I made a note in the 63rd minute where Haaland was chasing the ball. Ultimately, it led to, we ended up winning it back. I think he went out first for a throw. They throw it back in. He chases it again. He wins it back for us. And that's maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes before we score the goal. And while he hadn't scored a goal, he wasn't necessarily great at, holding the ball up. In some respects, I would say Rudiger was getting the better of that one-on-one matchup. But he's still, his passion, that hunger, that desire is like, I'm gonna do whatever I can. And it goes back to Tom's question. What did Pep say at halftime? Because that man came out and it was a little bit, he was a little different. And again, like I said, not only trying to contribute just by scoring goals or just stay high up the pitch so we can kick the ball to you long, whatever. No, it was, I'm going to get involved. And if no one else is going to win this ball back, let me go get it. And I appreciated seeing that from him. Because we always talk about, we know Bernardo's going to work hard on defense. We know Jack works hard on defense, and there's others. But to see him really, usually we see him contributing by kind of, starting the press or something like that. This was much more intense. This was a little different. And so I was really glad to see that. And the proximity of that to the goal was really impressive to me. So kudos to him for doing what we don't always see from him.
Prime example of what it means when a coach of any level tells you that players bought into the program. When someone tells you that players brought into the program, you are seeing an example of a player showing some sort of leadership, doing some sort of task that is his role, but not necessarily what he's asked to do all the time. There's a wonderful video that I literally thought I was going to run through a wall after I saw it. Erling Haaland was tracking back after a corner, got Vinicius to get it kicked out. Erling Haaland tracking back from a corner defensively. Guys are bought in. And you go back to this constant theme that we're having here. What did he say at halftime? Guys, it's so crazy to think about this. I mean it when I tell you I have been in the meetings before halftime where a coach is walking into that locker room about to have that conversation. And I have seen so many different coaches do it in so many different ways. And one of the last coaches that I worked for that I really, really appreciated, he actually would ask his assistants right before he went into that huddle, going back into the locker room and have that talk. What are we saying here? What are we saying here? Having that conversation with you and that open talk and that open dialogue, because to all of your points, it gets tiring. Ultimately, what Pep's resume is a case in point of this, right? There's a general 5-year rule, right? And college programs. After a while, I think this is in high school too. After a while, you can only say the same shit in so many different ways before they stop listening, before the magic starts to run out, before the secretary gets tired of having to put away all the fines for your horrible parking tickets, or the fact that the boosters love to have to pay for your sausage, egg, and cheese every Saturday morning when it's out of their bill. It's little things that just nick at a program and will eat at you. You have to find different ways to create that creativity. You have to find different ways to create that urge, to light that spark. And my last point, but let me land on this. It is Phil Foden and those young guys that will keep a guy like Pep salivating to coach this team. It is the main difference that why he left Barcelona, it was the media. Fuck Spanish media. When he left Germany, it was Bayern Munich front office. Too old school, too traditional. You don't want to change it for me. Here, we have given that man everything. We have told him, run it. We will protect you. We will be real with you. And we will give you little seeds that in a few years after you're here, you'll want to stay longer. And here's Phil Foden. And here's Oscar Bob. And here's Rico Lewis. My God, the future's so bright with moments like that. And I'm excited just off of a draw, boys. Off of a draw.
And we haven't even gotten to freaking Vardiol's banger. Oh my gosh. So I call this man's leg the way that he shoots a Desert Eagle. Giant power, big power. You can honestly call it a luxury item. And not that accurate. But when it bangs, though, woo! You're just like, hey, we need one of those. We need a Vardiol on our team. And you see someone fire a Desert Eagle. You're just like, maybe I should get one of those. But man, Lando, you called it, you brilliant motherfucker. You specifically said, hey, Vardiol, he needs to keep taking those shots. Because when he does, it's going to be an amazing banger of a goal. And I dare say it's going to be an important match. And it wasn't an important match. I can also tell you, I heard from Peps, because someone asked, they were like, Vardiol taking these shots. It's kind of crazy, right? He was like, no, it was about a month ago. I told him, take more shots. We see what's going on. So Lando, let's ISO to you. This is your moment. Soak it all in. Enjoy yourself.
No, we're going to keep it moving. Quite the opposite. I just get an opportunity to get right once in a while. Honestly, anyone who's watched the games can note. I mean, Charlie even put it in the Slack. It's been coming. The first shots, even if his first goal wasn't a banger, the shots were coming. Anyone who's watching those games are wonderful. I just want to kind of note one thing about Josko Gvardiol, and I'll switch it over to Charlie because I know he's been an enthusiast about him as well. Kind of, or even Tom, if you gotta want to get in there because you made me come to my senses. I'm no longer a pervert for Purvis. I only want Josko. I'm an absolute jerk off for Josko. So wait. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, I have to admit it. I'm no longer a pervert for Purvis. I'm over it. I'm over it.
You gotta tell the parents to cover their kids' ears, or
I'm sorry. We're here.
Kirk, you better come up with the Only Shades logo real fast.
mercy.
We're here. I've announced it.
top tier, like in 2+ years. That's a top 10 moment, no lie. Like that goes up there, bro. That's a bar of
I'm here.
bars. Wow.
You
I'm
know
not
what
even gonna
that
repeat it because
is?
only that man should be able to say it.
You know what that is? That is just like on Twitter. Doesn't matter what you post on Twitter. They find a way to just drop a comment, be like, "Oh, nudes in bio or whatever," and you be like, "Wait, how did you even? Where are you coming from? How did you come up with that?" He just out of the blue, pow! I'm like, "Wow."
Well, see, here's the thing. He's mentioned P for P. I'm gonna just say P for P before. Like I've heard that. I didn't know J for J was
I
coming.
think that's worse.
I didn't know J for J was on the way. I knew P for P was coming. Didn't know J for J was there. And boy, I'm gonna segue to Tom on this. Tom, for no particular reason, how did you feel about Vardiol's goal?
Charlie trying to keep us moving. He's trying to like, we're not gonna get stuck here. We're gonna keep on going.
So actually, my first thought on the goal was when I first saw it, I thought his first touch was terrible. I thought
so was.
I thought it was so bad. I was like, oh god, because the ball ended up so close to Cruz. I was like, well, he's gonna block the shot. Like you're within 2 inches of him, and the fact that he got the power on it and the placement that he did was amazing. I think that actually at that point, I really thought we were going to win. Like I thought that because it felt like we just scored 2 goals, like 2 of those. Like I think I've talked about these before. Like sometimes when a team scores a goal that's just like a banger, like it just kind of like shocks the other team and they don't really know what to do. And we scored 2 of those like in a row. So I was like, oh, well, we have fully gained control of this match. And there is nothing that any other player for Real Madrid is really going to be able to do other than like try to echo that, individual brilliance to do that. And like the way that their faces looked after the Vardiol goal was like Tchouaméni and Camavinga looked so defeated in that moment. I was like, oh, we're definitely going to win. Definitely.
Tom, I had the same feeling, but you know who didn't? Carlo. Because that man said, oh, it's time to get my number 10. We need Luka on the pitch to get this goal back. Because he knew he couldn't lose that match. It was the goal happened in the 71st minute, right away before kickoff. Brahim Diaz comes on for Rodrigo. Luka Modric comes on for Toni Kroos. It was a stroke of genius. Pep, now, I get it. I know Pep's thing, right? He doesn't make subs unless he absolutely needs to. You don't want to switch up the match. And if you look at the bench, Kev's not fit. Who do you bring on, right? I understand. But like when Carlo did that, you literally saw an instant impact when Luka was on the ball. Like that man pulls all the strings. He's the perfect. That's who Kevin De Bruyne is going to be in like 2 years. It's the perfect transition to be like, hey, you don't have to play all 90, but you give me a solid 25 and you can make things happen. And so like soon as he got on the pitch, they got right back in the game after looking defeated. So huge shout out to Carlo Ancelotti because without those subs, I do think we would have won. But once he got on the pitch, man, it was like, okay, this is why he's one of the greatest players ever. Ballon d'Or winner. Like he still has it.
And it's kind of scary to think that I didn't even think about those changes and how dynamic it is to bring both of those on. Brahim has been having a great year. A lot of people question how he would kind of be brought into that team and how he'd be productive, especially when he was finding success in Milan, right? So it's kind of like there were some reasonable questions to be had. Just goes to show you how much Don Carlo has trust in him to bring him in that type of moment. Luka's Luka. We know that right now already. We get it. I don't know. I don't want to sidetrack us, but Charlie, do you think that Kevin's going to accept the role like that? You're not wrong. You're not wrong because I do see that is a successful transition, but is Kevin accepting that with us?
Didn't Fernandinho? You don't have a choice at some point. Like, if you want to stay with the squad, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Like, or you just play out your contract and retire. But like, if you're going to stay after 35, that's who you become. And Luka Modric is like one of the most well-conditioned athletes in history, right? Because he literally didn't go to the bench until this season. He was still starting matches last year consistently. So like Kev could do it. I don't see why not, right? But I think like if he wants to be that guy and continue to win to get to those Man U numbers of guys who have 7, 8 Premier League titles, right? Like a very few number do. I think you say, hey, like this is my role. I'm talking like like next contract, like 27, 28 down the road if he really wants to stay. Yeah, for sure. But I hope so. But shout out to Vardy, he that was a beautiful strike.
Charlie,
No, you go.
Like you're so right about that being the perfect sub at the perfect time. Like bringing on Modric to like run after like a tired John Stones and a tired Rodri, who we will probably admit that Rodri did not. It's been weird because I feel like we've had a lot of matches recently where we said Rodri has not had his best match, and like
he was tired, Tom. He's told you, I'm tired, boss.
He said it. He said it.
I'm tired.
Valverde's goal. We got to get through this. We'll just do whatever for Luton. The match was what it was. But Valverde's goal. Man, then he with the gorgeous cross. Valverde, I want him on City so bad. And it will never happen. But he shows why I love him. He can do everything. He can fill in for Rodri. He can fill in for Bernardo. He can fill in for KDB. Ortega could never stop that ball. Ederson could never, like nobody can stop the ball. It was a rocket. Can't be mad at greatness. Anything else from the match? Oh, all right. Well, that was the fourth time in Champions League history that both teams scored 3 or more goals in the match. And the last time that happened was Manchester City 4, Real Madrid 3 in the 21-22 CL semis. Lots of modern history with the CL Giants. Want to show some more love to Mario.
We were lucky that he's with us and could play today. Otherwise, it will be so difficult because we don't have players in the back and making an incredible effort. And not just the goal has been amazing, the way he played. He played really, really good. So he's a lovely guy. So we are so happy to have him.
And also, Pep was asked if losing that 3-2 lead was bad or painful, regretful.
It's fine. It's Bernabeu, my friend. You are from England, you don't know what does it mean playing Bernabeu. And in Champions League, take the result. And the way we played especially, the way we played. First half, players like have the composure to so safe with the ball, to don't lose the balls. We lost more than usual against Madrid. It's so difficult because they have not just legs, they have the quality to make this transition effectively. But in the second half, we play with incredible personality. We try to, to score the goals. We did it. I cannot say more. Score 3 goals in Bernabeu is really, really good.
Yeah, just good match. I'm very okay with the draw. Let's quickly get to Luton Town, the Hatters. Welcome to the Etihad. Luton Town have never won an away league match against the reigning top flight champions in 16 attempts, 3 draws, and 13 losses. And in City, this is specific, Luton have lost the last 4 home league games against Manchester City. Back in 1992, City won 4-0. Back in 99, when City were in Tier 3 football, still won 2-0. Wow. What are the takeaways really from this match? Daku was brilliant. He was doing his thing from the left, also distributing this time. He stepped up big time. Sharpie?
I don't know how the exact number, but there was a tweet that came out that City broke their own record for most touches in the opposition's box.
Yep.
And that was the story of the match. Like we lived in the final third, and I would say the final fourth. Like we were in that thing. And eventually, like you will fall if all you're doing is defending. I think we finished with over 73% possession. Like it was inevitable. Happy the goals happened the way they did from those scores. So like for goal difference, right? We were a little nervous. We were up 3-0. We give up a goal, and it's like, oh wait, we got some more in the bag for you boys. So like I'm happy that we were able to do what we were supposed to do. And that's the type of performance, and I'll get out on this, where it puts pressure on you. You see City handle Luton easy, and you know you got to play the next day. I'm just saying, it's in your mind. It's in your brain. Like, damn, we gotta win. They just tore up. Like, we gotta go. So yeah. What you got, Terry? What you feel about the match?
So I think you just pointed out we got the goal early, right? So just like the UCL match, we got this case, it was second-minute goal off of the big deflection off dude's face, right? But then we went, I think it was 1-0 at halftime. So it's like we should be, and to your point, we were living in their the final third. So it's like we should be up. We would expect to be up with this dominance, with this possession, where we're not just having possession, but where on the pitch we're having the possession. We would expect to be up. So going into the break, only up 1-0. While you feel good about it, it's also a little concerning because all it takes is one break, and then all of a sudden, instead of getting 3 points, you only end up with one. And I wanted to put that pressure on them. So I was glad once it was almost a question of can they, and I didn't think they could defend for that in that manner for that long and not buckle. I always felt that towards the end of the match, we were going to run up a couple goals. I thought maybe we would end up 3-0. It ends up being much bigger than that. But it was almost inevitable because you're just, it's like you're just letting somebody punch on you all day. And it's just a matter of time before they're going to knock you out. If they got, if they have any sense of whatever, they're going to knock you out. It's just a matter of time. So, yeah.
Per definition, we get our first official Sharpie clean sheet.
Yay.
So happy that's the case. Crunk, you were pretty close here to being called Crunkstradamus as well. Right after that first call, I'm pretty sure you put it out there. Can we get 5? Can we get 6? Got 5. Pretty damn close.
I'm feeling pretty tapped in lately. I'm remembering to going back and retweeting previous tweets, being like, "Hey, just saying, just seeing this." And honestly, with you all, it's nice that I'm starting to remember the things that you guys are saying. Gave Lando your time in the lights with Vardial's banger, and it's just nice having such brilliant show bros being able to enjoy our brilliance together. This match. Tom.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'd like 2 things from this match.
Yeah.
One, it will never show up in the score sheet. I understand that he was the one that gave up the ball that led to the goal, but like Matthias Nunes' movement is so good. You guys, it is so good. Like he knows how to draw players into spaces that they don't want to be to open up spaces for him. He knows how to make runs that will isolate him. He knows how to take those positions. I came away from him so impressed, and like to me, like coming away from that match, I was like, oh, that's our Bernardo replacement right there. Like I feel like he has the ability to do it. Yeah, I understand it's Luton, I get that, but his movement was so good, and I just can't stress that enough. I think that's going to be crucial later down the line, whether it just be a league game that we have to have points and everyone's tired because we just played the semifinal of the UCL. I feel like I don't know what that was. I feel like he's so good. Also, even though because he gave up the ball for the goal, that gave me the opportunity to put out on Twitter for everyone to go look up Ross Barkley's dad, which is, again, never, ever, ever not funny.
Ever.
But Thais Nunes is another guy that Crunk's been looking at too. He was watching his movement early on. A lot of people too. A lot of City fans are kind of still suspect on him. I think I've seen enough to know that he's going to be great for us. I think we're playing with where exactly though. And that's where I'll be very interested in year 2. Like we've given all fair criticism to City players. It's a little different coming in with Pep, getting settled in. I'm happy Crunk's been watching him a little bit. Maybe in the off season we can get an understanding of what we could potentially be seeing, because the roles have changed throughout this season. The roles have definitely changed in what he's doing, but I'm happy for what I'm definitely happy with what I'm seeing so far. Not the greatest, not perfect, but I think it's coming.
He will be one of the people who you think will come on the U.S. tour now. Hopefully we'll be able to see him in person, and we can give our eyes perspective of what we saw from him. Yeah, I mean, you all said everything for the match. There's not really much to add on, so we'll keep it going. Manchester City have a home unbeaten run in all competitions, lasting 41 games, 35 wins, and 6 draws. That is one short of breaking their own record that is 103 years old. So from 1919 to 1921, Manchester City went on a 42-match unbeaten. Fresh from World War I, Manchester City started dominating football. What a club. Talk about history, baby. Oh, I love it. Let's get into these score predictions. Champions League versus Real Madrid. Second leg, the referee, Italian, Daniele Orsato. Apparently, he has, like, Real Madrid fans hate him. Apparently, he has reffed a lot of losses for Real Madrid. It's looking good for City. Looking good for City. Maybe we bought the ref. We're just like an Italian. You can't tie us to an Italian, except for he's like best friends with Mancini or some shit like that.
What are you doing? Are you putting potential charges out there to link us already? That's 117 you just gave us right there.
I mean, yeah, just add 2 more. We had 117, whatever. No matter. Fuck it.
Paying revs, connection with Mancini.
I'm just being silly. I'm having fun. Yeah, how are we feeling on this match? We win, yeah? How much? Is this one? Is this another domination?
It won't be 4-0. I see it being a 3-1. And I looked at the lineups from last year, and I realized the only player that we're missing is Gundo, like from the team that won 4-0 on May 17th, 2023. One of the greatest matches in the history of football. Greatest performances in the history of football. So who do you put in for that? Who do you put in for Gundo? 47. Philip Walter. Foden steps in the form of his life. Now, Stones, is he fit enough? Do you run Kovacic beside Rodri? That's a conversation, right? If you want to think about who's going to be on the pitch. But when I look at them missing Tchouaméni, I believe they do have Militao back, so he'll be beside Rudiger. This year, Camavinga will not be the left back. He'll be in midfield where he's supposed to be, and Mendy is fit and healthy. So that's the dynamic that's going to change. But our home fans, they saw what Real Madrid did, and we also are not going to give up 2 shitty goals again. So, yeah, I got us winning 3-1.
I'm so interested if Pep is really going to try to play both Phil and Kevin in the midfield in this match. I'm not sure that – I don't know if Kevin is I don't know if he's in form enough or in shape enough to – like, not necessarily because he's out of shape, but, like, for health concerns, I'm not sure if you want him to start 2 matches of, like, and one of them be this, like, magnitude in a row. Like, like in the LeBron's not going to play the second in a back-to-back if they're, playing the Wizards, like that's not going to happen.
But he is for game 6 and game 7 of the NBA finals.
So I don't know. I'm always concerned when we try and do that. I also like if we do that, I don't want to see Alvarez on the pitch. Like I think that's too much. I would rather start Kova over him. Hell, I would rather start Nunes over him, honestly, and have him sit beside Rodri and hold. But I'm really interested to see if that is what we're gonna do. Um, I I think that this is one of those ones that we're gonna see some magic, and y'all are gonna hate me, but boys, this match is gonna be more than 90 minutes.
Fucking shit.
This match is going 120 minutes. I'm not saying it's going to penalties. I'm saying it's going to 120 minutes, and I'm saying that we are going to get a goal, probably from a sub. I really want it to be Oscar Bob just because, and he's gonna win the match for us, and we're gonna go to this UCL final because Oscar Bob scored a goal.
It's gonna be Julian Alvarez because you just talked that cash on him.
Semifinal, excuse me.
T, give me some realism. I don't want to speak before I'm too crazy. I need to hear some real. Come on.
I'm gonna just say 2-1. I think it'll be tighter than because again they know if they come in here and play, they'll get ran over. They're gonna try to keep it tight, but I think we win it 2-1. God, I pray we don't go to beyond 90 minutes because my heart can't take it. So just call it 2-1, and we get a Sharpie clean sheet.
Oh, I am most certainly refilling my blood pressure medication before this match. That is definitely happening.
The Sharpie clean sheet's real. I'm going 3-1.
Same 3-1. Yeah.
That's scoring footy.
Exactly. All right, we'll keep it moving. FA semis against Chelsea. Tough match. They're looking real good. Cole Palmer. Hey, you know how he is. He just hat trick and PK snatched it from all of his teammates. He's like, nah, bitch. I don't care how long y'all been here. He's like, it's like, you've been here what? A month longer than me? You 2 months longer than me? You can't tell me what to do. How we feeling? Sure.
I mean, 4 goals against Everton was cute. But I'm going to say real quick, we win. It was real cute. They're not playing Everton. They're playing us. And we love Wembley, and we don't lose in the semifinals. So we're going to win another 3-1 Sharpie clean sheet. Sorry, Tom. My bad, boy.
No, you're good. I was just looking through the one of my group chats, and somebody posted the video of them fighting over the ball, over the penalty. Those are children. They do not have an. No, I'm serious. They do not have an adult. They don't have an adult in the room, and Conor Gallagher is the only quote unquote adult in the room, and they not listening to him.
Thiago tried to step in. Give old man some love. He did try to get in there and let him know.
He got there late as hell. Old man could have hurried up a little bit and made it not a scene.
A long way away. It was a long way away.
He's got hip problems, man. He's old. What you expect?
Shit.
I feel like Thiago's kind of out there like, yeah, this is gonna be it, bro. Because this is kind of rough. So it's like, what kind of emotional investment does he really have? I guess in like getting involved in something like that.
Right, his contract's up this year.
Again, see, there are no adults in the room but Conor Gallagher, and they want to move him.
Yeah, the one who's getting it's got value.
Right. So I feel like in the 2 matches that we have played against them, we have played into like, we're playing this game against children. And that is why you see the results that we got in the league the way that we did. I think that I'm hoping that going to Wembley will make us understand that like we're grown. They are not grown, but we are grown, and we need to put this match away immediately. So I'm gonna say in this match there's gonna be some goals in this match, but I got 4-2 us taking it home, advancing to the finals of the FA Cup.
I'm with Charlie. I'm gonna go 3-1. I almost went 3-1 on the other one, and I changed it so that they wouldn't both be 3-1. But I think I'm really locked in with Charlie 3-1.
We will concede a pen. We will concede a deflected goal, 4-2. I want to have you all rationalize something for a moment, because everything before this, the conversation isn't valid. And I know I've said some wild things tonight. I am a jerk off for Josko. I want to state for the record very clearly.
At it again.
Should we handle business? Title. Should we handle business?
It won't even be able to be on YouTube if you put that title in there. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are.
Hey, we're touching lines. We're passively breaking lines.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Clicks,
yeah.
Baby. Clicks.
Guys, this is the first time that we can genuinely have a conversation that should we handle business on Wednesday and should we handle business on Saturday? The vision and the path to potentially repeating what we did last year is actually a feasible and realistic conversation to have. It is genuinely real. And for that, how right is Pep about just speaking about consistency? How right is Pep about just this in itself should be a damn trophy, in my opinion. Now, I know that's really dumb to say out loud, but I just want us to celebrate where we are right now. I just want us to take in the fact that if we do handle the business and beat the children on Saturday like the ass whooping they deserve, wet the belt buckle and the chancletas, if we handle it like we should, we are in a clear path. And it ain't clear. Y'all love that too much. Y'all clearly love that too much. Y'all been with cousins. Some of y'all got parents over here. He's the only one veteran, smooth. Like, I done been through that 3 times. He's living it all in his head. Tom and Charlie are over here like, can't wait to get me some of that.
No.
Like painful experiences, personal experiences.
Yeah. That's what that's from. Yeah.
The treble vision opens itself if we do it this week, boys. And I want us to potentially put that in our line of thought and our line of conversation, because we're going to handle business 4-2 over Chelsea.
I also want to push it and say we get a chance to beat United a second year in a row in the FA Cup final. Because they play Coventry City, right? Like that's who they play.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're going to win.
God, not easy.
So like
easy.
That would be really, really fun to do. To just, make them embarrassed again at Wembley.
Yeah, and I'm saying 5-1. We go in there and we demolish them. It's no one is going to see it coming except for the City players. They're going to come in confident and the business, like you all said, the kids and the bright lights of Wembley. They're all going to be like, "Oh, this is so cool! Wow, I'm just so excited to be here. This is great, guys." Right? What side do you think our fans are going to be on? Like it's and City. This is nothing. How many times have we been to Wembley over just the last 3 years? Like, it's not light work, and in the form that they have been in, I think everyone has been stepping up. Especially, this is the time where this is when you do it. You think you can shut down Haaland? All right. Well, Guardiola's going to score. All right. Foden's going to keep doing his thing. You think you're going to stop us? We throw in Oscar Bob just for fun, and he comes in and does his thing. All teams can do is hope is that we feel comfortable enough to put Sergio Gomez on, and then you're just like, all right, cool. Now you got a little bit of height.
The crazy
I'm
part.
I'm not living for the Sergio disrespect. Nah, he's a hooper, dog. Don't be out disrespecting my guy.
The crazy part about it is, like,
I just said his height.
He might actually just like start in the FA Cup match, and I swear to God, it like Hollywood Kipack, shout out to you. Like, if he starts, like
everything he's been doing, right?
Oh my gosh, all of that content, like you just
long-term storytelling.
Yeah, vindication.
Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I know that I joined late, but like Lando kind of put like, if we handle business this week, everything opens up for us to repeat essentially. Like at least the path becomes a little bit easier. Have we? And one of the reasons why that path became easier is like the results. And I know that Charlie said is like we put out that ass whooping on Luton, and those around us got nervous, and have we laughed at Liverpool and Arsenal? I know I joined late.
Now let's get to it. Shock all applause. Let's laugh at these losers.
Wait, I want to. You got to.
Hey, losers, give me the top of the league. Hey, Okay. Woo. Okay, no, calm down.
I just want to laugh at. Y'all remember Dexter's Laboratory, and he had that nemesis Mandark, and he would laugh like ha 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 ha. I just want to like play that on a loop, like anytime that Arsenal and Liverpool is brought up from this weekend, like because it's not just the fact that they bottled the league in the same weekend. It's the fact that both of them in European competitions got smacked, like in a way that should make them both feel uncomfortable. Like, yes, I understand Arsenal. Y'all got to draw against Bayern at home. Woohoo!
No fans. Bayern had no fans.
Yes, like I don't. That's not the move. That's not it's not a W. Like that's real bad. And then I don't even like Liverpool. I don't even know what the hell you had 70% possession and you lost 3-0. How does that happen? Like I thought we were heavy metal football, fellas. What's going on with that?
So Patino once say Larry Bird not walking through that door. Mane and Firmino not walking through that door. 28-year-old Salah not walking through that door. Oh my God. They just suck at finishing. Like some of the worst finishing you could ever see from an entire attacking unit. It wasn't just one. Everybody stunk. And I loved it. Shouts to them. Shouts to Palace and Villa, man. I won $85 off a dollar bet.
Wow.
I'm a Palace fan for life. Shouts to the villains.
I had to watch the matches on replay because, as people may or may not know, I have made a vow to not pay any attention to Liverpool and Arsenal matches, which includes not even being on Twitter. I just put my phone away, I put it charging, and I just go do other things, or edit or something like that. It's been real nice. I'm getting lots of stuff done. It's been real refreshing. And since they have lost every single time, it's really exciting when I find out. I'm just like, oh my gosh. And so everything's rolling together. I have to keep this vow up. It's been nice. It's been fun. They haven't stressed me out because I'm not watching or even like checking on the score, because I really wouldn't watch the matches, but I would check the score. I'm not even doing that anymore. I just more of it. Keep it going. Atalanta, shout out to you. Shout out to the homie Cabot Cove. He's this real dope Italian artist that I know, and he's a huge Atalanta fan. Him and I have been chatting a lot these last couple of weeks, and hopefully they can keep it up.
Before T gives us the refreshing realism that the league is not over yet and gives us every bit of here's the lineups and we got to deal with the Tottenham and the fixtures and all that. I just want to know, it's been really fun to see the pundits, the YouTube folks that are up there just looking defeated, sounding absolute like they know what's to come. If we're little City, if City are not that big of a deal, I just find it how much we eat at them after a weekend fixture like that. And all I'm seeing is, well, we know what's coming. We know what's about to happen. And it's just like, yes, you do. You feel that. We were comfy and sitting back. We were patient. God, my fixtures are coming, which I know we're talking like it's over, but sharks in the water. There's a little bit of blood. It's there. Great classic movie too, by the way.
Derek?
I think we will win it. I just don't want to. For me, I just gotta be. I can't get too far ahead of myself. Let the matches play out, one match at a time. We win them, we move. We win, we move. We win, we move. I think trying to get too far ahead is because I'm with you, Crunk. I don't even watch Liverpool or Arsenal matches, and I haven't for a while now. Just because I already in my head I already know how they're going to end. If I'm watching, they're going to get that goal, and it's going to be disappointing for me. So I don't even watch. It just so happened that this weekend we were doing basketball, so I could watch something else. So I genuinely think that we will win our fourth straight Premier League, but I just think we got to let the matches play out.
That's right.
I'm with you, Tarek. It's gonna be we can handle it. We can beat every team we play, and they're gonna also drop points. And I think the last thing I'll say is this: Mikel Arteta, you asked for it. This is what happens when you don't try to win. Y'all were right away, and bit him in the ass immediately.
That is the biggest takeaway, because again, we called it in the moment. It was like you gotta go play for that win. Don't, because again, I just felt like, oh well, we draw with City and there was just too much other stuff going on, and it's like you need those 2 points right now. Well, 2 points plus us not getting a point, so 3 points makes a big difference right now.
Yeah.
If everything else stayed the same, but you got those 3 points, you'd be in a much better place right now. And so, again, doesn't mean that it's over. There's still plenty of games left. 6 games left in the Premier League? Yeah. So anything can happen, and because we know that, right? We've won it the last day of the season. In many cases, with the last kick of the season. So we know it's not over. But when we talk about European heritage, right? We say Liverpool's got European heritage. We say, of course, nobody has more heritage in UCL than Real Madrid. But when it comes down to winning a title with very fine margins, coming back, winning when you're maybe thought to be out of it, I stack our resume up against anybody. And so we know what it's like to track down and overtake an opponent. We know what it's like to use that shark metaphor and to hunt and to smell that blood and go get it. So we know what that feels like. No one else has run us down yet. We lost one to Liverpool, but that wasn't, it wasn't really close. It was during COVID. No one has overtaken us in a title race. Yeah, in a title race. So we'll see.
I think it's a mentality thing as well. Coming into the Etihad Arsenal, you need to impose yourself. You need, even if you draw like City, we drew with Real Madrid, but we played our football at moments. We showed that if we can score against you. And yes, it was a draw 3-3, but we each had success, and Real Madrid have to worry about that. It's the same thing. If who is saying that Arsenal couldn't have played with us and the match still could have been a draw? It could have been a 2-2 draw. It could have been something like that. Now you went to Manchester City admitting that you can't play with us. Your confidence, that's dropped already. Now you have to do Champions League on top of that, and added pressure onto the Premier League matches that you were playing, because you said, hey, we'll just do a pass on this match against Manchester City, which if we beat, the rest of our season is clear. So the weight off of our shoulders is huge. yeah, it's just a weak mentality thing. We at the beginning of SOB, we used the word mentality monsters a lot, and they aren't that yet. They still have some time to go, and we are learning that. And it sucks because, well, it doesn't suck because we're not Arsenal fans, but it is unfortunate for them that Arteta still has some growing to do. And is it just one more year growing? I don't know how many more years of growing they can afford with him, but also the managerial field at this moment is real sketchy. So I don't know. It's going to be really these next couple of years are going to be real interesting. Real interesting.
Before we get out of this segment, I do want to pivot a little bit. Chelsea Women's Football Club, if you thought you were getting out of that segment without a ha 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 ha, you are sorely mistaken. Y'all got beat by United. United. Y'all lost to United. So I don't know. Like, it's a lot of it feels like Emma's under a lot of pressure, and one of the 3 trophies that they were supposed to win, or excuse me, one of the 4 trophies, I should say, because they were in the Conti Cup final, is now out of their grasp. So now it's just the league and UWCL, and I feel like, even though we haven't played in a while, I just feel like our form and the fact that we, are at the top of the table right now is just kind of intimidating to Chelsea because they are not used to chasing. I find it interesting that they dropped that match.
All right, we will get out of here. And quick predictions for the we're doing a
watch along.
Yes, so we're going to cover that. All right, well, we will see you all very soon for our Breaking Bread match preview series for Real Madrid coming to the Etihad versus Manchester City. Thursday night lit stream, Sunday mentioned watch along for City Women versus West Ham. And if you're in Chicago, come through and say, hey, what's up? Take some pictures, answer some questions, help us out with some content. If you know any good places to eat or visit, anything like that, let us know. If you don't know about me, I like adult beverages and good food. So help us. My show bros, Lando, Terry, Tom Bomb, please let people know where they can find you. Tom Bomb, we'll start with you.
I do want to keep up Sharpie Charlie's theme of this year. So my top 3 albums for our 97 are going. Oh shit! I just Super Duper Fly is on the list. Oh gosh. Also, my personal favorite hip hop album of all time. I know that it's not a great album, but it is my personal favorite album. Life After Death.
And that's what Lando said.
Yeah.
You hit 2 for 2. Charlie had that one, Super Duper Fly.
Oh, what was it was the fucking whatever the album that Busta Rhymes let out that year.
Oh yes, just good.
When Disaster Strikes. There we go.
Yes, I was like, damages. Yes, that was in. We did at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, okay.
But I'm happy you remembered to get those in. Yeah, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and if there's a social media app that I use, my screen name on that is TomBomb816.
You can find me on Twitter or on Threads at Tarek Peterson, TarikPeterson, at Tarek Peterson on Twitter or Threads.
At Shades of Blue NW. Shades of Blue Network. Get at us. We're gonna be putting out some fun stuff. Thursday's gonna be lit stream. Doing the Chicago. Come see us. Buying beers, buying drinks. There will be a tab. I will be having a tab. Come say hello. Take a picture. Get a beer.
Good times that we had. Hey, Lando said it. Shades of Blue NW. Hey, you know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang.